So you cut this yourself, yeah? Do you know what, man? You haven't done a bad job, you know? I'm not gonna lie. You've got loads of texture, like, that's what? Alright guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman YouTube channel, the Hunter Collective. Today we've got Matt in the chair. Now, Matt's just revealed something to me there, that he cut his own hair after watching one of our videos. I've got to say, mate, you've done a pretty good job. So whatever we're doing together, Alien, we're doing good. I've seen, you know, I have had worse jobs in the chair from previous places. So, you know, you've done a good job, man. But anyway, we spoke to Matt about what he'd like doing, and he likes a sort of mid skin fade. Is it down to skin? Or yeah, down to skin. So a mid skin fade, drop it at the back a little bit, not too high at the crown. And then we're just curious about the top. He'd like it short, low maintenance, and then just so we can wear it a little bit more across, so it isn't too high of the hairline, just so it makes it a little slightly fuller through the front there as well. We've got a very thick, coarse hair. So what I was thinking we'd do today for the texture on that, I mean, I've got to say, man, I'm looking at your hair. Just have a little look at this, everyone. Right? So any barbers watching out there, has he done a good job or not? Because I think that's actually a really, really good job. I mean, look at the texture in that. That is pretty good. And the blends there as well. I mean, oh man, I'm proud. I feel very proud. These videos are finally paying off. I feel very proud from that. So what we thought we could do to texturize it was do a little technique that I picked up a while back, actually. Where working on very thick, coarse hair to make it very choppy. You can obviously, you know, you can point cut into it. You could razor it if you want to. You know, if you've got a pair of texturizing scissors, you can use them if you like. But a good little technique for this to really make it that super, super choppy, almost like kind of overgrown crop, kind of grown out crop look, is you pick it up and you cut the length. So you work it all through one length. And then what you do is you work from one side here down to just before the fringe, and like basically like a cross on the top. But you pick up sections loosely, very, very thin. So as thin as you can possibly get them. And you cut them at the base of the actual head itself. So you take it, so your fingers are touching the scalp, and I won't do it now, but you cut in like that. And you do another section, and another section. What it does, basically, when the hair is all up, it's like that, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. But because you're doing it across, as he wears it up, it's cut into those different angles. But it just creates such a lovely, broken up, choppy texture to the haircut. So I'm going to do that on you today. I don't think we've done this one yet, so it'll be nice to see that finished look. It looks really nice, and the thing is, it grows out with so much texture as well. So because obviously you're cutting it at such a sharp angle, and you cut it so short in areas, that you do get a real messed up texture. So it works. I wouldn't do it on finer hair. I'd do it on thicker hair, just to remember that, because the finer hair will show it off too much, where it'll almost show like lines where the thick hair kind of covers it. So without anything in it, you won't see it too much. So yeah, we'll do that, and obviously we'll do a medium to sort of, yeah, about a medium skin fade on the side as well. But we're going to do, more than doing a more like, I'd say, a shallow blend, I think we'll use the blend point quite high. So we'll work it fairly high into the a blend point as well. So normally what I'd do is I'd do, like, say, like my skin line here, and then a half, one and a half. But I think I'll be working up and off with the half to really show off that graduation through the side. So a wider blending angle than what we've done previous on other videos. So I'll give it a wash and a condition, and then we'll start. So what did you do? Did you start off like horseshoe? What did you do?
So I take the zero guard.
Yeah. Put the line in, yeah. Wow.
And then go to half with it open. Put the next one in.
Yeah.
Close it. Get it.
Right. Nice.
And go up to one open, one close, and then up to two, but two on the sort of just going
up and off. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Well done, mate.
scissors on the top.
That's awesome. That's brilliant. You have to film that for us one day, you know, mate. Do a little before spin.
Yeah.
get you know, whoever's in your house just to spin you around on the chair like we do, you know. Right. So so that's all been shampoo conditioned. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the horseshoe in as well. So I'm going to work a horseshoe on this one. Because we're doing a fade and we're going to work on the back and sides first. It's always nice just to kind of, again, separate the top to the back and sides. So with this, as you can see on the sides and Matt's here, it doesn't concave too much. So I'm going to take this horseshoe just slightly higher up and use that as well as like my little guide to where to come off with the number 2 as well. Because it is through here, it's a little bit short of the crown, a little bit shorter than what I do, but you know, fair play, done it himself, you know. He didn't know. So you can see the way that hair kind of almost sticks out already there. I think that's one of the reasons why I was sort of going towards the higher blend, especially working on the higher sort of, the blending point would be slightly higher, because I think it will really help the hair to not stick out as much. I think we leave a bit too much hair here. I think he'll find it hard. I think he'll struggle as the weeks go on. Now again, I always try and imagine the haircut that I'm doing on the clients is my own haircut, so I want it to last. I find it very difficult to get haircuts, you know. 3 children at home, it's not normally free time, and obviously working and stuff, and you know, I tend to be kind of out and about and stuff like that as well, so it's kind of hard to try and find the time to sit down, give myself an hour to get a haircut. So I always imagine this haircut taking, say, 5 to 6 weeks to grow out, ideally. Yeah, do you know what? It's not great on my pocket if a client doesn't come back that often, but I think ethically, that's the way I work. I think it's nice to get a bit of longevity out of a haircut, because things can happen in, you know, people's lives where they can't always get out and about for a haircut. So as long as they still feel slightly confident with a haircut that's going out after 5 or 6 weeks, then I'm happy. So I think that's one of the reasons why I was looking at, as I was watching the hair fall, that's why it's always nice to do a really good consultation with the clients, so that you can start to see how things are, especially when I wash the hair as well. I'm doing a consultation myself without the client knowing. So as I'm washing it, I'm feeling for lumps and bumps and moles and things like that as I'm washing the hair. So that's why I always think it's a really good thing to wash the hair beforehand, because you can do a little bit of a kind of private consultation without him knowing. Now, you all know that I do that now, and you know I've done that, but at least the client at the time doesn't realise I'm doing that because I'm having a chat with them. So, but it's just another way of me trying to make sure that I'm not missing things, you know, like little, like kind of, again, little moles at the back of the head or something. You don't want to go straight in with the clipper and realise that afterwards. So I always find it's quite nice to do that. So I'm just working the horseshoe, and as you see, it's quite high, but it needs to be. I'm just worried about this bit sticking out too much, so I think if we go a bit higher with that, it'll help. But we'll still maintain that squareness, because we'll still be working up and off and keeping everything nice and square in the blend, and also when we connect through the top as well. Paul Hollywood still hasn't replied, you know. Yeah. No, he hasn't replied still, you know. It's shocking me. Sure, he has seen it, but you know, still can't believe he hasn't replied yet. I'm his twin, you know. So, right, there we go. So yeah, this is a slightly higher horseshoe, but if you look at that as the crown sits in through here, it goes a little bit flatter through here. Now, when we look to create the horseshoe, I know people have asked me how, or the comments have said, how do we find a horseshoe? What you're looking at is you're looking for the shape of the head. So you want to find the squareness in the head. So what you do, I'll just angle it towards you, Liam, is place a comb coming from down here, so by the cheek, right? Because everyone's head will concave here slightly as well through the temple, and then kind of slightly come out a little bit higher up towards the recession point. So what you do, place it along here, side of the ear, and that's where you start to see where that blend should finish. At that point there. So we're almost, imagine like a 90 degree angle there. And then go to the top. And if you can balance that nice and straight, that's the round of the head. That's where that's the top of the head, that's the apex, completely flat. And now we're looking for that point where it hits on the side there. Now, where the horseshoe is, that's the round of his head. As you can see, it's completely flat like that. So it goes straight, around, and there. That's what we're looking for when we're trying to get this horseshoe, and we're trying to find out what the shape, where the round of our head is. That's the way we do it. There we go. I'm just going to dry off the back and sides because I'm working with the clippers. There you go. Right. So, as per usual, I'm going to start with my number 2. And I'm going to put the line in, ready to blend and create the squareness. Coming up and off. Again, imagining coming up and off the head. That's what we're looking for here. I'm just working to where that starts to kick out a little bit on the sides there. This will really kind of help me to keep that squareness in there as well. But as you see, by removing that hair, I'm still working up and following the shape of Matt's head. It's going to help get rid of that kick out. But by blending this through and up and square, we're not leaving the hair to sit over and it won't kick out. So I think that's why it's nice to do a bit of a slightly higher blend on this one. Or should I say a wider fading area, should we say. Now I'm going to blend this in, just create the guide for the connection and the transition to the top. So working up and keeping the comb nice and straight, teeth facing the ceiling, and to create that square shape. Again, I'm going to use this technique now and just skim over to help create that nice blend into the two, but also try and cap off any of them hairs that are sticking out as well. So looking in the mirror now, you see that yourself, Matt, and you see that squareness in there as well, yeah? It's kind of sitting out like that. Don't try and give you too many more tips here, mate, alright? There we go. There's the two blended in, ready for the transition to the top. Now I'm going to put my zero line in. So it's a medium high fade. But what we're going to remember is that we're doing a very wide blend, right? So I'm not going to put the zero in as high as I normally would, just because you're going to have a lot of scalp exposed basically because you're working the half quite high up. All right. So I'll do it just slightly below sort of the temple here. But this will look like a medium skin fade. We're just going to drop it down at the back. Still create that nice profile. So you're not going too high to the crown. So just remember, when you're putting your zero in, just work a little bit past the back of the head, the middle at the back of the head there. Just because when you come to match it from the other side, it's much easier to see as you get around here. Because if you finish here, as you're getting around this side, you can't see where you've finished. So if you go just a little bit further past the middle or the centre back here, you can see it as you're working around, just so you know where to finish and where to match. Mirror. So I can see that, so where to finish. So that's how I know I can match it up perfectly. And then just make sure to cross-check in the mirror that you've got the same height either side. I'll explain into me. A good way you can check is, I'm going to imagine the camera is the mirror, and obviously you guys try this at home. You turn your head to face the camera for me, Matt. Is place one finger at the temple here where the zero line starts, and place the other line there, and just bring your fingers out. Now, if that matches evenly, does that match evenly here? Yeah? That's how you know you've got it perfectly even on the other side. This is the same way to measure sideburns. So if you want to get the sideburns level, put one finger in, look in the mirror, put the other side in, and then you know how to match it up. All right, so I'm just going to do that now myself, just to double check. So finger in, and bring it out. Now both it, yeah, that matches perfectly. Cool. There's no point in getting all the way to the end and seeing that it's a bit lopsided, because again, it'll be like an asymmetric fade then. On to the minis now. I'm going to shape it up a little bit through here. Just through the sideburns a little bit as well. I'm going to start level with the ear. Good way to do it is, if there's a little bit of beard coming through, to get the line nice and straight, is slide across the clipper and then work up. Get a nice even line without going into the beard too much down the bottom. There we go. Now, going to move on to our foils. There we go. Right, so I'm going to start my blend now. So starting with my my guard open, so open blade pulled down. Going to work up and off to roughly say about there. All right, and then I'm going to use the rest with the 1 and the 1/2 to blend out. Just put it in. Going to work up and off. But I'm making sure, again, I'm staying with the same principles of keeping everything working through the angle of the blade to create that kind of pull off here, corner, so it's still going to maintain that squareness in there as well. I'm going to go in between my open guard and the closed guard and knock that line out a little bit more, and then again just working down the lever just until you get down to 0, just to get that out, and just work through the guard open and close just until you get it to look exactly how you want it. Now I'm going to move to my 1 guard, open, and work it up into my blend. And down to closed. And then just work up into that 1/2. And just cross check in the mirror. Yeah, staying nice and square. That's bang on. And then I'm just going to switch to my half guard, just to make sure we get rid of any darker areas. We've got this open at the minute. Work it into the one, and then just starting to close the lever ever so slightly as I work a bit further down. There you go. And now I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing and meet at the back. Same thing again. We've got nice and flat, and we're just coming up and off to slow motion. We're working up and off, like that. Obviously, when you get used to it, you can add a bit of speed in there as well. And work through the lever. Go. Back onto the one, open guard, working up and off. Move to the one. Just doing a nice check in the mirror to make sure it's still nice and square. Yeah, still working. And then onto the half guard. Open first. And with the teeth being so small on this guard, I always go over the area quite a few times just to make sure we've picked up what we're looking for. And down into my closed guard. And I'm working up into that one. There you go. And now we'll meet at the back. So as you can see, if you bring the camera this side, well, behind me, by working into the middle, you can see both sides of the face. You can see exactly where you need to finish. That's why it's always quite nice to start one side, then the other side, and then match at the back. Because you can sometimes get a bit lost. I'm guilty of it myself, is that when you work from one side and you go all the way around, you get a bit lost as you get around to this side. So I think by doing both sides and then matching in the middle, it's a bit like when you put your zero line in, doing one side, the other side, and then matching in the middle. It just helps to alleviate any mistakes, basically. We're back again, same idea. Up and off. Like that. And closing the lever slightly. In the same motion. And again a bit more, just rubbing it across that line. A bit more. Stopping the light from bouncing off it so I can just see it a bit more. There we go. So it looks so different when you cover that light. So just always just double check. There we go. Now while I'm here, I'll just blend in the sideburns, working from the open guard down to closed and just leaning the teeth against the skin. Just seems to take that a little bit more off. Back to my one guard. I'm working up and off. I'm working through the guard again. I'm working through the lever. Going down to the closed guard. Go. And then onto my half guard. There we go. Now what I'll do is I'll just go over it using my size 1 comb and my thinner scissors as well, just so I can get in a little bit closer. So I'm going to over slightly and using the one comb, just working through where the 1 meets the 1.5.
That's the best way to do it.
And then turn it around to finer teeth. I'm working through where the 1/2 meets the 1.
But it doesn't look like you've been using it, but that's what I'm not like. I mean, people will go, hey, you look a bit brighter in the face and a bit of coffee. Probably have a man that's looking a bit down. Am I drying it okay for you? Yeah.
Now, that is the back and sides done. So what we'll do is wait through the top now. So wet this down because it's dried off. Comb it out from the crown. So as you can see, by sitting at that blend point there, the top of the hair sits perfectly on that blend point. So that's where we know we've hit the round of the head, because, oh, they slipped there. We'll put that in there, Liam. I literally went on my arse. So yeah, so as you can see, as you bring this over into where we blended the two into the corner, what we've allowed ourselves to do is just make it very minimal and very easy to blend that in. And that means we've found that perfect sort of angle of the round of the head. It sits just nicely on there. So again, all I'm trying to do is save myself time and effort, really. That's what I'm trying to do. There we go. So, picking the length up, I'm going to find a length that we like. So what we'll do, I'll suggest the length to you, Matt, and then you tell me if you like it or not, okay? I reckon, like you said, nice short, low maintenance. I reckon if we lost about that much, it'd be quite nice. Can you see that? Does that look all right? Cool. It's roughly just above half. And we'll point cut into this as well. Let's take your sort of average size sections you normally would. So let's say, I don't know, 2 or 3 teeth on the wider teeth at the top of the comb is what we're looking for here. Now I'm using the smaller teeth, so finer teeth here, to pick it up. And I just find it grips it a bit easier. And get them just before the crown. And stop them. Same thing again, working through this side, comb it over so it's easy for me to slide the fingers into the actual section itself. And then cut that out. As you can see, I'm following the shape of his hairline as well. Just putting that in, just to the crown, comb back out. As we can hear, I'm going to bring my fingers in, so I'll have the guide from where we've just blended into. It's the guide I just cut there and there. And very, very small sections. And connect them two together. And then what I'll do, just to cross check, I'll just bring it across horizontally, cut in, so that sits just right on the blend. Move the fringe out the way. There, got a lovely transition, and we've got that nice corner in there as well, sitting lovely and square, the shape of Matt's head. This will be a really nice sort of before and after, because you'll really see where it's starting to kind of protrude out on the side and kick out, whereas now you're not getting that at all. It's not just because we've cut it right off, it's because we've angled it and we've kept it sitting just at the right length where that does grow outwards. If we'd left hair sitting over it, it would have kind of the section underneath would have popped it out, so it would have almost went like this and around as it grew out. Follow the shape of Matt's fringe. Just before the crown. Again, like I always do, is leave that crown till last. Once we've dried it all off. Now work this through. Again, starting the section from the recession line. We've got our nice guide for that transition from the sides to the top. Just by getting that round of the head and that horseshoe section perfect. And just working around the blend, not the crown, just the blend points. And we'll went around to this side now as well. And just finish just by behind the ear. Here we go. And we shouldn't take anything off now. There we go. Perfect. What I'm going to do now is just cut that fringe a tiny bit shorter. Still want to leave a bit of length in that fringe though, because we still want to kind of sweep it across. So I want to leave a little bit of length, but not as much as there is now. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm just going to cut that in a little bit. Now, we've got a bit of length through this fringe now, but it's mainly the section behind. Now, that'll be because he's done it himself. It's very hard to get the section behind the fringe perfect. It's getting the right angle in a mirror. Doing it yourself is very, very hard because you don't know which way to pull it, forward or up or down. So I'll show you in a second what I mean. So I'm just cutting his actual fringe a tiny, tiny bit shorter. It's not that long. Like I said, it's the section just behind it. So watch this now. If I pull this through and take a section between my fingers, you'll have a nice point here. That section behind the fringe. There's his fringe. There's a section that I took. There's the section behind it. Now we don't need that, so we'll cut that out. And that'll just transition nicely into the fringe itself. There's my guide behind. There's the points. Just cut this through. Guide behind it. Right, this would be great. That section there is the section that we tend to leave heavy doing a blunt fringe, just so you can kind of get your bearings at what this section is here. That's the one that we leave just in front, just behind the fringe, sorry. That allows the fringe to lay flat and heavy, but we're not looking for that look today. So you might as well just blend it all in. It'll be much easier when it comes to styling, as it won't have that disconnection through it. And then just one last one, just pick that up there. I'm more than pulling it right back like we did. I'm going to angle it slightly forward, so not completely out forwards, just at that angle, just like that. So imagine you got your section behind, you got your section we cut originally, your fringe is there. As you pull it that way, we're looking for that right in the middle. All right, that's what we're looking for. And what you'll see is as I bring it forward, you've got the fringe guide underneath. It's only a little bit, but it makes a difference. You just cut that in. Same again this side. Angle it slightly there, guide underneath. Put that through. There we go. So I'm just going to go over the transition area, just sit over comb to make sure that's sitting nice. There we go. And now what we'll do, hair's starting to dry through, so I'll just cut the crown in. Just pull this back, pull this crown back. And just pull it straight out horizontally. And that's all this needs. It was quite short anyway. Now, we'll do our texturizing. So nice and wet. Now, giving that straight back. You see, that's pretty much all the same length through there, right? I want to change that, so I want to make it easier for him to style. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice thin section, just away from the crown, away from the blending point, and my way down towards there, so in a line straight down there. So nice and thin, fingers flat to the scalp, and cut it in. Again, same thing again, nice thin section. Put that. Now this is quite an extreme texture technique, but it works really, really well. And because you don't do an awful lot, and it's such thin sections, it doesn't become massively noticeable when there's no product in the hair. It's more noticeable when you put product in. I'm trying to make the show as clean as possible. Right down. One more, just before the fringe. Right, is that bit done? Same the other side. Get that crown out the way, so you know, comb the crown out so you know where it is. Get away from the crown, away from the blending point. Take a very, very thin section. Remember the angle you're going at, so we're going down this way, so I need to change that a little bit. Away from the crown. It can be a bit fiddly, but it's worth it. Yeah. Another section this way. Now what you get when you stand that up is that real choppy texture through the top. So it's not uniform at all, it's super choppy. So when you put this product in there, it'll be all over the place. But that again makes it a very low maintenance texture. But it doesn't look that aggressive when there's nothing in it as well. It's kind of like little bits of hidden texture. Usually doing very small, fine sections. When you lift that up, you put your head down there, that real choppiness of texture. So let's show that off when we style it. We'll do one more thing through the fringe. I'm going to break that through. So picking it up, and then just cut away from, obviously I'm pulling the fringe back as you can see under my finger. There we go. I'm just going to cut straight in, just to break that up a little bit. It's quite thick to the front. Just cutting, it's in. There we go, that real choppy texture today. Right, I'm going to dry it through now. You see all that short texture coming through there as well. As you can see, that anything in it, it doesn't look liney, it doesn't look anything like that, but as soon as you wake your fingers around it, it really breaks it up. And so just drying it through, no brush, just trying to flat towards the fringe as well. Because we're looking to keep that fringe slightly coming across the hairline, nothing too massively high. I'm just going to dry that flat, like that. I'm going to finish off with some Regal Gentleman matte clay. So roughly, like I say before, about a peanut size amount. Just into the hand there, work it through, warm it all up, work it right through, you start to feel it getting warmer, and then work it right through the fingers as well. Because we're going to be rubbing this into the hair, so again, through your fingers, just coats more. Now, rubbing it in, like a shampoo, start at the crown, way towards the front. Don't lift that too high, keep the hairline nice and full even though it's coming up and over. And now, so we don't want it too high, you'd like it to still come over a little bit, so I said why not do it up and down a little bit. It's a bit up, it's a bit down. And just work in circles to really bring out that texture. And then flatten it forward. And then it's all down to yourself how you want to style it out. What you'll notice as well is all that choppy texture we did has really come out when you put that product in. If you look how messy that looks, how texture that looks. We haven't put a texturizing scissor in sight, no razor in sight, just literally the positions of where we take our sections and how short we take them. And that's what you're left with, that kind of real heavy choppy finish, which is great for anything like thick coarse hair. It works, it tweaks, it grows out choppy as well, which again, you get that longevity we were talking about at the start. Happy with that, Matt?
Looks awesome.
Yeah? Thanks, man. Better than how you done it yourself? All right, cheers. Right, guys, so to recap, what we did was we did like a sort of medium kind of skin fade on the back and sides, which Matt asked for. We did it a much wider blending area because half the reason why is Matt's sides of his head here don't really concave, they kind of almost like round off a little bit. So when he came in, I was looking in the mirror, you could see there was hair kicking out through here. So I thought the higher we go and the tighter we go, it'll just stop that growing out so quickly. Where we could have went low on the skin fade, left hair sitting over it, but what would happen then basically is that the corners under here would just start to kind of curve out and would have ruined the look probably within a couple of weeks. So by going higher and tighter, I just find that would help grow out as well. So yeah, wide blending area down to the foils. Through the top, cut it to a length that was kind of just a very easy, low maintenance kind of length. You know, about half off that was through the front, and then just got it gradually a tiny bit shorter throughout the back. And then we cut the fringe into match, but what I'd noticed, because Matt had done it himself, he'd missed the section just behind his fringe. So he's cut the top up, he's pulled it up, then he's come down, and I'm guessing that's what you've done, because I've done this, you know, I've seen this done before, and I did this when I was starting off, is that you bring it all up, and you cut it, and then you bring it down, you cut here, but you've got that little angle here that you've got to bring forward. That's kind of where you miss, right? So future reference that you need to do next time, mate, all right? That'd be absolutely perfect. So yeah, so we matched the length on top, very uniform. And then we used some very thinner sections throughout to work from the right-hand side of his crown down to just before the fringe, and then the same on the left-hand side down the other side. So a bit of a cross through the top, but literally very, very fine sections right down to basically finger length, literally fingers flat on the scalp, and just cut through. And just done about maybe 4 sections through the top, just working through. Not overly done it, but what that creates is that real heavy texture, and very broken texture, but you don't notice it when it lies flat either, because it's kind of hidden within the hair. It kind of comes out when you put the product on, as you can see now. And then yeah, we finished off with a bit of Regal Gentleman Matte Clay to just show it all off, and yeah, happy? Very happy. Awesome, thank you very much, man. Anyone looking for this? So what you're looking for is obviously a medium skin fade, and again just kind of like a high blend, should we say. Just asking for like a sort of don't ask for like kind of like a shallow blend, that's quite a high blend. And then through the top is ask for something like, say, just short and choppy. But again, these are techniques that you couldn't really tell your barber to do this technique. It's probably best to show them, just in case it doesn't come across well, and you can it might go a little bit wrong, because obviously you're taking chunks at the top, but in the right areas. So just maybe show the video, say there's other ways being used, like channel cut and things like that. It's kind of very similar. So yeah, just ask for something very heavily textured on the top as well, but not left too long at the front. More like all one length all the way throughout. And that's it, yeah. Cool.